Okay, so we are open up to the next clean page in our math notebooks. We're ready for today's notes. So like I said, I like to do this unit right before Christmas break because it fits perfectly into those 2 weeks. And I really enjoy this unit. I think it's fun. And so we're going to be doing that this week and next week, which is why we are using our Volume 2 workbooks. And so Sydney and Eli emailed your parents. Your Volume 2 workbooks are sitting on the pickup table in the front entryway, so you can get those picked up before you do this lesson. Okay, so we are going to be working on topic 14.1, the coordinate system. Yeah, and we're putting today's date, 12/7/2020. So 14.1, the coordinate system. 12/7/2020. And you guys, even if you haven't officially learned about the coordinate system, you've used it before. So we're going to talk about what the coordinate system is and what we do with it. So give me a thumbs up when you have the title and today's date done. Awesome.
Some games actually do teach us some games teach us about that. Like some games on the top of it, it shows you that if you turn your character, you go like that way, it's like 127 or something like that, north or something. And then it's like north and then it's like northeast. 200.
Fifth grade was talking a part of my directions? No. Now Michael was talking to me, so that was fine. But the rest of you, voices, please. Okay. Are we ready to move on? Oh, I see some people need another moment. Go ahead, take that moment. Get this written down. Max, is there something you could be doing right now? I do have coloring sheets in the back. I have a word find for Christmas in the back. Or you can read. It's up to you. All right. And now are we ready? Perfect. So we have one word to add. So we have vocabulary. We have one word to add. So go ahead and label your vocabulary section. And Zoe, could you shut that door for me, please? Thank you so much. Vocabulary. Like I said, we have one word to add today. Okay, so our word, this is why we need to grab our stuff first time. All right, our word, coordinate system. So the coordinate system is a method for finding points on a coordinate plane. And what a coordinate plane is, I know it has the word plane, but we're not talking about something that flies in the sky. We're talking about a flat surface. So we use the coordinate system to find a point on a flat surface, a coordinate plane. You might be thinking, Missy, I think I've heard of the term coordinate plane before. Maybe you don't quite remember what that looks like. We're going to go over that today. So give me a thumbs up on your desk when you are ready to keep going. Richie.
With the A and the method, is that one word or is it a space?
Oh, that's a space. A method for finding points. So there are two words. A method for finding points on a coordinate plane or a flat surface. So thumbs up on your desk when you are ready to move on. So I'm going to have an example underneath this as well, just to let you know. Oh yeah. Why would I give you an example if I don't want you to write it down? Thank you for giving me thumbs up when you are done. I really appreciate it. Helps me know who's still working. Well, fix your mask. I always get turned around here. It's sideways, so I always have a hard time.
Yeah, so our company is over there, that's west.
So yeah, that would probably be west.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Awesome.
And that's what these and
All right. Thank you. Give you another moment. I see some people finishing up the definition. Thank you. All right. Okay, our example. So with our coordinate system, this is our example. I'm going to explain it to you a little bit. So, yes, you probably have seen this before. So, I love coordinate system. Yes. So, 5th grade, when we use a coordinate system, we have a grid that usually looks like this. So we have one line that runs up and down vertically. This is what we call the y-axis. Then we have a line that runs horizontally right and left. This is what, yeah, you should be writing this example down. This is what we call the x-axis. And what we do is we use the numbers on the x-axis and the y-axis to point out where a coordinate is or a spot is. So on here you can see I have some blue dots. And if we look at where the blue dots are, I can say, well, there's a coordinate 3, 0. That's where this blue dot is. We have the coordinate 4, 4. That's where this blue dot is. We have the coordinate 2, 5. And that's where this coordinate is. Now, when we talk about these coordinates, when we have the x and the y location together with the parentheses, we call this an ordered pair or a coordinate pair. And so over here, I have kind of an example of coordinate coordinate pairs. So when we write coordinate pairs, we write the x coordinate first, so the number on the x-axis, which runs left to right. We write that number first. Then we write the y coordinate, which that is the number on the y-axis that runs up and down. So that's why, like for this coordinate up top, we write 2, 5, because the x-coordinate for this dot lines up with the 2 on the x-axis. And then the y-coordinate comes last, the 5, because that lines up the 5 on the y-axis. So when I move my fingers together, that is where they are. So we always write the x-coordinate before the y-coordinate. Okay, you just keep writing, okay? Get this example down. So guys, notice that I use the lines on my notebook paper to write or draw the lines that go left and right. Then I just kind of spaced out these lines, the y-axis lines, myself. So use the lines on your notebook paper to help you. If you need to draw a coordinate grid, use the lines that go left and right for your x-axis. Awesome. Awesome. You should be writing all of this. And then we have the coordinate pairs. Make sure you're writing this as well, because this will help you. Because you guys, for example, if on a homework assignment, you were looking at this point up here and you wrote 5, 2, you want to make sure you're writing the x and the y. So make sure you're writing this for the coordinate pairs as well. It's very important that you write that x coordinate first, otherwise it will completely change the location of the coordinate. Because 2, 5 is very different from 5, 2. Yes, Zoe. What's your question? My question is, at the bottom of it, yes. I'm glad you asked that. So that 3 is our x coordinate, right? So along the bottom here, we have our 3. The second coordinate is always the y coordinate. Well, our y coordinate, we're talking about the 0. This is the 0. So that means it doesn't go above the line. Now, if you just look around going, we have 0, 3, that would be the same as, okay, x coordinate 0 if you had a coordinate that was 0, 0, it would be right here. This is what we call, does anyone know what we call this spot, the 0, 0? It starts with an O. It starts with an O. What do we call the spot 0, 0? We call it the origin. Because that's kind of where you start. Whenever you're graphing, you start at the origin, the original spot, 0, 0, and that's when you move right and then move up. So that 0, 0 spot, right? I know my virtual learners couldn't see me. This is what we call the origin. If we had a coordinate that was 0, 0, it would be right here at the origin. Yes, Richie?
So if it was 5, 5,
yep.
Would we just put it above?
Here we go. 5, 5. Right here. Yep.
Where do we write it? Where do we write the numbers on the page?
Yep. You put the dot here, and you can put the numbers out here. Yes, Will?
X, Y, it's the X axis and the Y axis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so under coordinate pairs where it says x, y, remember they're talking about first the number on the x-axis, so down here, left and right, moves horizontally, then the number on the y-axis, which is the one that moves up and down. And I would like you to at least make sure you're putting these arrows by x-axis and y-axis. And did you guys notice that I labeled the x and the y-axis? I labeled a y up top and an x here. Now, 5th grade, why do I have an arrow on both of these lines for the x and the y-axis? Raise your hand. Why do I have an arrow? Mackenzie, why? Yeah, it could go infinitely. So we're saying, okay, this coordinate plane is only going to 5 on both the x and the y-axis. However, it still goes on forever and ever and ever. It's essentially a number line, and you know numbers go on forever. So that represents that the numbers could keep on going. We just happen to be stopping at 5 for this coordinate plane. Now, will every coordinate plane stop at 5?
No.
Will every coordinate plane go up in whole number increments, like 1, 2, 3? No. You might have a coordinate plane where it goes 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. Or it could be 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So, it's important that you are paying attention to the increments. Because, so 5th grade, if let's say on this coordinate plane, let's say I have the coordinate 2, 3.5. Now, my 2 I have here. But on my y-axis, is there a 3.5? Do I have a 3.5 on my y-axis? No. So I go 2, and then where would I go for the 3.5 coordinate? Where would I go for the 3.5 coordinate? If it was 2, 3.5, where would it go? Turn and talk to the person next to you. Where would it go? 2, 3.5. It's very similar, yes. So that's how we can link coordinate system to social studies, latitude and longitude. Yep.
I know my brother has coordinates on his thing, and he would always go on the map.
Yep.
2.5. Wait, 2.5?
2, 3.5. 2, 3.5. Okay, where would it go on the coordinate plane? If it was 2, 3.5. 3, 2, 1, 0. Now 5th grade, if we were looking, actually I'm going to grab my,
When the comma happens, that means it's a different number.
so exactly. So 2, 3.5, that first coordinate is my what coordinate? X. So I have a 2, and then 3.5 would be my y coordinate. So I would go up, here's my 3, here's my 4. Well, 3.5 we know is the same as 3.5, so I would go halfway between the two, right here. And that would be 2, 3.5. 5. That's the coordinates. Yep. Yep, so I could still do, like if it was reversed, and we had 3.5, comma 2, I could go to 3.5, which should be here, and then up 1, 2. So then it'd be in the middle of one of these lines.
Which makes so much sense.
Now, I have a note. If you're thinking, oh my gosh, Miss E, hello, Chanel. If you're thinking, grab your math stuff. Waiting for you. If you're thinking, Miss E, I'm totally going to get turned around with where to put the x coordinate and where to put the y coordinate. A note or a rule. Because x comes before y in the alphabet, or x comes before y in the alphabet, so the x coordinate comes before the y coordinate in an ordered pair. So if you get mixed up, I want you to think about the fact that in the alphabet, x comes before y, which means when we write an ordered pair with the parentheses and the comma, we write the x coordinate first. I totally spelled coordinate wrong. I forgot an I on one of them. Whoops. Coordinate. Yeah, right here. There. You're right. People are concentrating. So, x comes before y in the alphabet, so the x coordinate comes before the y coordinate in an ordered pair. So now open up to the next clean page in your notebook. So Chanel, if you want to look at Emmy's or Richie's notes to kind of see what we've done so far, that would be awesome. All right. Does everyone have that rule written down? Okay. Give me another moment. Well, then you shouldn't be talking to people around you. You should be almost done with this. So again, I have this example. We have 4, 2. The first coordinate is the x. The x comes before y in the alphabet, so we write the x coordinate first. Comma 2. So that's 2. So y coordinate now. Now, Spencer, why do you think we put parentheses on our ordered pairs? What do you think? Why would we put parentheses around them? Well, what do you think? Because okay. Layla? It's kind of like an example. Not quite. We always put parentheses around them, even if it's not an example. Mackenzie?
Shows like you can use it in text because it kind of explains when they write something else, they'll parentheses and then they'll write something else, and it's like something. It's like they're adding on to like explain it more. Then you could just have the dot, that's all that, and then people would know.
Okay.
And they add the parentheses down to show you what it actually is.
Let's say I want to list different ordered pairs. All right. You guys know how to graph this? No. We put parentheses around because there are going to be times when you're asked to list, okay, which ordered pairs why, but that is what has just generally, that's what we have agreed to. If you're looking at a map, if you are doing latitude and longitude, this helps. All right. So, ready to rock? Okay. So, fifth grade, we do. Oh, waiting for you. Waiting for you. All right. So, we are going to have a practice problem. So, what we're going to do is we are going to. All right. I'm waiting for you. Jack, voice off. We are going to be drawing a coordinate plane, and then we're going to have some questions to answer, points to plot on it. So, we have our practice that we are going to get started on. Our practice. Let's scoot this up. It's the first time doing coordinate plane. You can go into the back of your page. No. Nope.
So how many questions are there?
We're going to be putting the coordinate plane on the left side of our paper, and then the questions will be on the right side of our paper. Okay. All right. So for practice. Now, I don't want you to start drawing the coordinate plane until I explain to you the problems. Then you can get started on all of it. Peach? So, this is what we will be writing down. And I could have made it 20 by 20, and I did not. You're welcome. So, where it says plot these points, listen up. Where it says plot these points, E, F, G, and H are not already on our coordinate plane. So you will actually be going and plotting them. Now, should I just put a dot for E? No, I should put a dot and the letter. Thank you, Richie. Because if I put a dot, I'm not labeling it so people won't know which one it is. So E, F, G, and H have not been plotted already. A, B, C, and D have, except you are going to write the coordinates for those. So we're having 4 that we are plotting, 4 that are already plotted, and we need to write the coordinates for. So go ahead, get started with drawing your coordinate plane. So again, use your notebook lines to help you. You guys, if you had already started instead of completing and talking, you might be already done with some of those lines. Thank you. Don't forget when you're writing the points for A, B, C, and D, that X coordinate comes first, then the Y coordinate. You should be plotting A, B, C, and D where I have plotted them. And then creating the plot these points and write these points off to the side. E, F, G, and H have not been plotted on your coordinate plane yet. You are going to write those points on there. But then A, B, C, and D, they are already on our coordinate plane. You just need to write what their coordinates are. So what their ordered pair is. And remember, you guys, it doesn't need to be perfectly straight lines. When we're doing this, you'll notice that some of mine are a little closer together than others, but I did my best. So I just ask that you do your best when you're spacing out your lines. Now, if you were ever doing like a homework assignment and asked you to do this and you had a ruler on hand, that would be really helpful. You could use a ruler. You could use the straight edge of a notebook. You could use the bookmark from your planner. But as long as you are, like I've been saying, Jack, you don't need to, just do your best. So, you're going to plot. You'll be plotting these both points of the page, and then you're going to write the ordered pair for A, B, C, D. And then you should be plotting A, B, C, D, and then you're going on to A, B, C, and D. I'll know you're ready when I see you quietly reading, writing, drawing, just waiting without talking to people. Instead of announcing to the question, you'll get it. What can you do? I'll let you think about what you can do. I should say I love your new art out there. Oh, thank you. It's really cool. They did a great job. Makes you busier. Like a digital look at me. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
So for the C, for this one, the C, what if you
And don't forget the label with the letter. I still see some people working on either plotting the points E, F, G, and H or writing the ordered pair for A, B, C, and D. Well, this is obviously some people finishing up with their last two coordinates. All right, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, 5th grade. How many of you would agree that the drawing of the actual coordinate plane is what took you the longest with this? Actually drawing the coordinate plane took you the longest here. It wasn't the plotting or writing the points, it was drawing the plane.
Oh, drawing.
Yes. So that's what's going to happen a lot with our notes. It'll be drawing the plane that will take us the longest. When it comes to actually plotting the points or writing the ordered pair for a point, I think you guys caught on pretty darn quickly to this. All right, so let's look at this together, 5th grade. Let's start with plotting the points. So how did you feel about plotting points E, F, G, and H? How did you feel about that? Okay, awesome, awesome. Now, well, let's look at it together. I'm seeing lots of 5s. That's great, 5th grade. So it says that for point E, we need to plot it on 3, 8. So remember, the first coordinate is my X coordinate. The second coordinate is my Y coordinate. Frankie, turn around, please. So I would go over 3, 1, 2, 3, up 8. So E would be here. How many of you plotted E correctly? Awesome. Now let's look at F. So F, I have 4, 4. So I would go over 4, then I would go up 4 to here. So that is point F. How many of you plotted point F correctly? Awesome. Then we have G, 6, 1. So I would go over 6, up 1, right here. How many of you plotted G correctly? Awesome. Then we had H, 0, 0. That would be right here. How many of you plotted H correctly? All right. How do you feel about plotting points? Plotting them. Perfect. Hands down. Now we did the opposite for A, B, C, and D, 5th grade. For these ones, the points are already there, but we need to write, what do we call these two numbers together? Raise your hand. What do we call them? What do we call them? It starts with an O. We need to write the what for them? Eosius? Okay. Well, ordered. Nope, this is the origin. What have I been calling them? Other than coordinates, they're also a what? An ordered pair. Yes, you need to write the ordered pair or the coordinates for A, B, C, and D. So for A, I would go look on my coordinate plane. Okay, here's A. So 5th grade, would I write 1, 2 or 2, 1?
2, 1.
Why? Why would I write 2, 1? Layla? Yes, the X coordinate always comes before the Y coordinate. So for A, yep, I look at my X axis, it's on the 2, and then my Y axis, it's on the 1. So it would be 2, 1. Is that how I write it?
No.
What do I need? Parentheses. Awesome. All right, how many of you wrote 2, 1 for A? Nice job. Then we have B. So if I will find B, it's all the way up here. So I want to look at my X-axis first, so it lines up with the 6. Then my Y-axis, it lines up with the 7. So it would be 6, 7. And my parentheses. How many of you wrote B correctly, the ordered pair for B correctly? Nice job. Then we have C. So C is up here. Well, it lines up with the 0 on my X-axis and the 5 on my Y-axis. So it would be 0, 5, parentheses. How many of you got C correct? Nice job. Then we had D. So D, it lines up with the 8 on my X-axis and the 3 on my Y-axis. So it would be 8, 3. How many of you got D correct? Nice. How do we feel about writing the points or the ordered pairs for a... Okay, awesome. Okay. How are we feeling about this overall, 5th grade? Day 1, how are we feeling 1 through 5? Everyone show me. Jack. Philip. Jack L. Show me in your hand, 1 through 5, how are you feeling about this all together? This is day 1. Okay. Okay. Chanel, how are you doing? Yeah, is this making sense? Okay. Here's what we are going to do. In your math workbook, I would like you to open up to page 781.
781.
Because we're doing topic 14, so we have to go in.
We did that last time. We skipped so many.
781. 781. Ready to rock? All right, Jack P, are you open to page 781? Let's go. All right, Philip, are you open to page 781 in your math workbook? Okay, here's what we are going to do. Now, 5th grade, technically you're going to have more numbers for homework than usual, but that's only because for every number, it's a different plot point, okay? I'm not going to have you just do like 2 plot points. That's not worth it. So, on page 781 and 782, you are circling first numbers 1 through 4, then you are going to circle numbers 7 through 9, so again, you're circling numbers 1 through 4, then numbers 7 through 9, then you are circling number 17, number 20, and number 24. So I'm going to say it again. Numbers 1 through 4, numbers 7 through 9, number 17, number 20, and number 24. Now, 5th grade, if you want extra practice and you want to plot all of the points on the first page, you can. That's up to you. You just need to make sure you at least do 1 through 4, 7 through 9, 17, 20, and 24. Capiche? All right. You may get started on your homework. Nice job today, Jack P. It's making a little noise for the people around you to be able to concentrate.